Funding for Dominic Rossi's Best of 80 Years of Thomas and Friends has been provided by... Remember guys when I told you about my career for voice acting was pretty great and so is animation? But here's the thing, my voice acting was pretty incredible for what I did on YouTube for the one and only Piston Pictures. Piston Pictures is like a YouTube for a team of people working together for making the show. And trust me, I love how they worked on this. The only thing I like about this is because they worked on Railways United and so much more. And they also even do like some live streams. And check it out, it's pretty peak. And what's great about this is because they just did have all the voice actors for playing in Railways United, like Kyoshi the Lover, the Anderson Roblox, and so much more. And not to mention me, of course, which you might know in episode 2, Dominic was in there, so glad that the Big City engine was starting renamed by Dominic. It was kind of funny because my name is Dominic and his engine's name is Dominic. But in the Discord server, there is so much peak stuff that I pretty much wanted to tell you more on the way, but I'll wait till next time. As you guys know, that Railways United is going to be an absolute amazing show. And shout out to Piston Pictures for me because I did voice Dominic, Merlin, and so many more. Thank you Piston Pictures for today's sponsor of this video. Subscribe to his channel and use the Discord server link in the description to check some more updates and more peak stuff today.
Good morning, Percy. A good day at work so far?
Hey, Jinty. Yeah, totally. Everything's going smoothly.
That's great to know. I'm glad I'm spending my last moments here well, too.
Last moments? I don't understand.
It's been long enough, Percy. Everything's been fixed down at Vickerstown, and I'll be able to return tomorrow with Stepney to the mainland.
Oh, a shame. But I guess it was long overdue.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 months. We've only waited so long because Thomas has damage expensed for a long time at the works. But he's all well now.
Well, I'll definitely miss you, Jinty. I'll be sure to arrive at your departure.
Thanks, Percy. Now I'd better get to the actual platform. I've been standing here far too long. Bye, Percy!
Jinty deserves a departing present. I'm sure I can find something useful at the docks. Salty, I need your help.
Happy to help, person. What do you need?
Do you have anything that's interesting for a Hey! It's the jet engine, is it? Do you think you can actually arrange that for me? And a truck with Welsh coal topped? Jinty's having a little collection of types of coal recently. I think it would be a great gift. I want to fly around the island with the jet engine to have a great last look at Sodorless.
Oh wow, that is a great and fun idea, matey. Are you sure it's safe to do though? It could be dangerous.
I know, I'll be extra careful with it, which is why I'll have someone with me to take it.
Well, if you insist. Go on then. I'll have it ready at midnight. You can come pick everything up then.
Great, thank you, Salty.
Anytime, me hearty.
You seem to have something inside you, Percy. What are you thinking of?
Oh, nothing special, but I need to take you to the docks at midnight. I need your help to pick up something important. It's very delicate and gentle.
Why at midnight?
That's when my pickup time is for it. It's a special present for someone.
Alright, just wake me up at that time. I'd like a bit of sleep too. Just be sure it's safe and allowed.
Sure, I'll tell you inside the sheds. Good night.
I feel bad for not telling Percy I have to leave early. But hopefully I'll miraculously see him one last time. Goodbye, Sodor.
My, this'll be your best gift yet, Percy. I'm sure Jinty would love this experience, even if it's a little dangerous.
Thanks, I know he's gonna love it after storming the soda so slowly on Christmas Eve. Whoa, stop!
Percy, my tender's off the rails!
That should be the least of our concerns. Make it stop!
I really do feel bad for not telling anyone. But I guess I'm due for my trip. What's that sound?
Oh, you gotta be...
Jinty!
I can't believe you two, taking Welsh coal and an already dangerous jet engine without my permission and giving it to a visitor. What were you thinking? And Edward, you're so much better than this. What made you get into this? You lost a coupling rod from this again too, for pity's sake.
It was a late night. I probably wasn't thinking so well and just thought of it as a nice gift. I'm sorry, sir.
Why were you guys even speeding down the line like that anyway? Seems very unusual of you two.
We were trying to get you a gift. I wanted to give you a Welsh coal and a jet engine ride as your departing gift.
Aw, that's really sweet, Percy. But I didn't need anything. I just wanted you all to come to remember me. I don't need gifts to remember Sodor, because I already have the greatest gift from here. You guys.
Oh, that's amazing, Jinty. Hopefully when we're all fixed, we can be there and say our proper goodbyes.
That probably won't be for a while now.
Picking up trucks. I like picking up trucks. 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 truck, 4. I like trucks and I like some more. Oh, thank you, Mr. Blue-Bellied Whoopee. One more morning, Humphrey went to the North Napper Harbor to pick up a train to take to Kildane. Morning, Sonny! Is my train ready?
Not yet, Humphrey. Let me just shunted some materials to the ship.
Huh, that's fine. I could give him a head start and arrange my own train. So that's what Humphrey did. He started to arrange some rolling stock ready to take to Kildane. But the trucks weren't too fond of the idea.
Oi! This is Sonny's place! Humphrey doesn't decide what rolling stock goes to where!
Well, first off, our schedule is tight, and second off, I like this arrangement because the box vans act as a shield from the tanker. And thirdly, Sonny's kind of occupied at the moment.
Hey, what's all this then?
Oh, Sonny, thank goodness you're here. You could do a much better job than this engine's shunting. My shunting?
Oh my god, we're dead.
Coffee pots, shunt. Tank engines, shunt. Mid-sized tender engines, shunt. I organize, and organizing is an art! The trucks were startled. One of them was shaking so much he lost his load. Everyone heard the clatter behind them.
Sounded like the flatback behind you. Here, let me shunt it to you. Say, I'll shunt it to you with this wooden beam.
Absolutely not. Sonny, you better not be causing trouble again.
Oh, no, Gordon. I was just about to shunt this flatbed with the wooden beam as I'm parallel with the track beside me.
Ugh. Now that's a tactical that hasn't been done for a long time. It's called pooling. If it weren't for the dangers of the pooling, it would still be used for shunters today.
Wait. You, Gordon? You and a couple other engines pulled on Sodor? I thought it was just an American thing. I didn't think it would happen on Sodor too.
Indeed, some other railways in the UK pooled too. I'll bet not 100% at the same degree as the US. Would you like to hear about it?
I really love to, but I can't stay for long. I gotta take this train to Kildane. Perhaps Sonny would like to hear about it.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
So Humphrey left North Napford Harbor with his goods train, and Sonny parked alongside Gordon to hear about their polling.
Very well. It was around late 1948.
It was during a time when the big engines had to arrange their own trains. Back then, it used to be Thomas as the station pilot since 1946. But during that year, after saving James from a nasty derailment at the Cows Field, he was rewarded to run on the Farquhar branch line. So now, without a station pilot, the big engines would have to shunt their own trains. Now, for a good period of time, Gordon enjoyed shunting. He liked disciplining the trucks. One day, he was resting at the shunting yard when one of the Brendam branch line engines puffed alongside him.
Hello, Gordon. Resting for the express?
No, steward. I'm resting from hunting. James had me express today. How are things on the Brendan branch line?
I'd say it's been really good. Clay was recently discovered, 2 new tank engines have been bought, Edward just got relocated to work on the branch line, and me along with the other lads are being relocated to other stations as pilots.
Ah, how relieving. Us big engines will no longer hunt our own trains at last.
Oh, well, none of us have been relocated to shunt at Knapford. I'm on my way to Tidmouth.
Beg pardon? None of you? Can't one of those new tank engines be brought here to hunt?
That would be a good idea, if they weren't owned by the China Clay Company. That's the new business at the clay pits on Brendam. Sorry, Gordon. Chin up. I'm sure something will turn up.
Oh, the indignity!
The next day, Henry was arranging a train for Edward.
Watch it! Watch it!
His load on the flatbed came loose.
Oh, bother! The chain snapped. Gordon, could you lend me a coupling hook?
Gordon approached alongside and surveyed the scene.
Bad news. Henry can't steam up. Gordon, can you shunt Henry off to the side, then shunt the wagons to Edward?
He then noticed one of the wooden beams that fell off, and an idea fluttered into his smoke box.
Hold up. I think I got an idea. If Henry can't hunt up to Edward, maybe I can. Quick, prop that wooden beam between me and the flatbed.
The workmen propped the wooden beam between Gordon's buffer beam and the flatbed's buffer beam, and Gordon slowly pushed the rolling stock up to Edward. He then went back to shunt Henry away in a siding to get steamed up again, shunted a brake van normally, and Edward departed with his train. The workmen were astounded.
Oh my goodness, that was quite crafty. We must inform Sir Topham Hatt about this.
So that's what they did. They rallied up everyone, including Sir Topham Hatt.
Well, you lads are in for a treat.
Gentlemen, and James, I present to you lot a new trick of hunting adapted from the land of the free and the home of the brave, as they nicknamed it. Are you tired of moving from siding to siding, arranging rolling stock out of place? Well, say goodbye to those days, because we've got a new trick up our cylinders. Or should I say, a new stick up our cylinders. Take a gander.
So far, everyone was amazed with how the thing was done.
Ooh!
Gordon shunted the hopper right down the coal truck transfer chute.
Yeah! Right!
Impressive!
How are we clapping?
I have no idea.
Sir Topham Hatt gave out his critique.
Impressive. Very well. You may use this polling technique as long as you are cautious.
The engines were delighted. So, every once in a while in the shunting yard, everyone pulled their rolling stock. Even James was amused by it.
This is perfect. It keeps my shiny paint away from these dirty trucks.
Shunting a truck with a stick. Rather queer, wouldn't you say?
No denying, but at least it saves some time.
Even Edward and Thomas had a little time pulling. Edward found it a bit odd. Thomas, well, way cheeky as always.
Oops, sorry.
Goodness. honest, little Thomas. To think you'd learned some common sense after your frequent runs on the branch line.
You should have seen him leave his garden on a platform.
Did he now?
Yes, sir. And he also went fishing, got stuck in a snow drift, and just recently raced a bus. Read the book.
It's rather unfortunate to say, the polling tactic was not 100% perfect. Accidents started to arise. First off, when the poll bounced about, there would be some occasions where it would knock the crew off the footplate of the rolling stock. Engines had that problem too. When the pole would land on the rails or set of points, they would derail. Poor James found out the hard way.
Blimey, James, what happened?
The pole bounced off onto the points and I derailed. Fetch the breakdown train immediately.
That afternoon, Henry paid a visit to the Proven's Gate Works. Henry, do your tubes need clearing up again? It's the second time this month.
Not this time. I'd like you mates to both also retract your retractor poles, please.
So the workmen got to work, bolting on some freelance jousting poles. Back at the shunting yard, Gordon brought out the breakdown train.
Try and shunt me now, huh?
James's tender was re-railed, and as they were going to get James next, they heard some familiar wheezing puffing.
There's Henry. Where's he been?
What is he wearing?
It was Henry, with a little modification on his footplate.
Miss me, boys? I did a little upgrade on myself to skip the part where pole is propped. Flank wagon left, corner pocket. Oops, too hard.
After James was re-railed, they cleaned up Henry's mess next. And there, watching from the side, loomed Sir Topham Hatt.
Oh dear. These accidents have caused confusion away in the yard, and this type of action Henry pulled off is the final nail in the coffin. From this day forward, there will be no more polling. All my engines will shut their rolling stock as normal. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And he turned on his heels and walked away from the scene. Once the mess was cleared, the engines got back to work as normal, shunting trucks normally and never polling again. Good timing, too. It was during the 1950s when polling became prohibited for railways across the globe. The big engines were still grumbling of having to arrange their own trains. And the only time that they weren't cross was when the circus came to town. They even had a good laugh about Henry's encounter with the elephant. The engines got back to being cross after the circus left the island, and after a couple incidences with tenders and turntables, the three big engines had enough and decided to go on strike. But we all know that story, don't we?
Wow. Who knew that action as simple as a little shunting trick could let into trouble?
Quite so, Sonny. It taught us such a lesson that while cutting corners may save time, in some cases, the risks aren't worth taking. Now then, I have to continue with my torch train. Have a good 79th anniversary, Sonny!
Thanks, Gordon. You too.
Oh yeah, I know all about Ulfstead Castle.
It's the greatest of all locations Summit had ever seen. It's refurbished and in service ever since 2013. And the staff members so nice, not a single person mean. It is rather amazing. You're open mouth and gazing once you take a visit to Ulfstead Castle. We got shiny knights in armor that you've seen in books before. At the back and through a tunnel, there's a park with dinosaurs. And there's an nested railway, got a steam engines galore. You will find it surprising what you're realizing. You took a visit to Ulfstead Castle. Now at one point a pair of thieves had stole a crown. But luckily they stopped when Toby came around. He's got a heart of gold. We've been hosting many parties, did a fair, had some feasts, and now we're planning a museum, at least but not the least. We will have a grand reopening once construction has ceased. We will strongly recommend it that you should go to attend it. You should take a visit to Ulfstead Castle.
One day on Sodor, Thomas was taking the local train along the main line with Annie and Clarabelle. They arrived at Keltstrop Road for a guaranteed connection with Gordon.
Good morning, Gordon. You're in a pleasant mood today. Have you come to your senses on accepting the water troughs?
Not only that, Thomas, I'm looking forward to a special guest coming to Sodor.
Oh? What's the occasion?
You've seen him before at Vickerstown.
Their conversation was interrupted by a distant whistle from Spencer. Between him and his coach was a milk tanker. He parked beside the two engines to have a little chat.
Spencer? What's with the milk tanker?
It's a new thing the Duke and Duchess planned called the Up Milk Train for Boxford. I'm not very fond of it.
Well, there's no need to cry over spilled milk.
Yes, what brings you to Sodor? It's not summertime yet.
No, but the Duke and Duchess wanted to visit Sodor for the week for the Flying Scotsman's birthday.
Flying Scotsman? Coming to Sodor? On his birthday?
Ah, not just any birthday, Thomas. His 100th birthday.
His 100th birthday? That is special.
Quite so. I've yet to come up with a perfect gift for him.
Well, you're on the clock, cousin. Your brother is scheduled to arrive late tomorrow afternoon. And with that, Spencer proceeded his journey to the summer house of Boxford. It was time for Gordon to leave too. He left the station with a pondering look on his face. Thomas could tell that Gordon was having trouble thinking of the perfect gift for Flying Scotsman. All day, he pondered what he could do for the Flying Scotsman and Gordon. Hey, Thomas! Did you hear the news? The Flying Scotsman's visiting Sodor for the week, on his centennial birthday!
I heard the same thing at Cowsthorpe Road from Spencer. Gordon doesn't know what to do for him on his birthday, so I'm trying to think of some ideas.
I could throw out a couple suggestions. I mean, obviously, for starters, the theme of the birthday is Scotsman.
Like the Great Railway Show? That's one of the few things I know about him.
Well, let's see. He's done a global tour. He broke a speed record of 100 miles per hour. Maybe we can have some reenactment of those historic events. And have everyone cosplay at Scotsman's events. It'd be like a Collecticon or Comic-Con for Scotsmen. A Scotcon! Of course, that may sound a tad silly.
That's a grand idea!
And Thomas left with a start. He didn't even thank me.
Hey, watch your steam pressure there, buddy. We can deal with that blue get of yours.
Yeah, we give him trouble loads of times.
Alright, now hold on. Stand down, you lads. I'm sure Thomas got a bit overexcited, and it'll seem likely that he'll thank me for the idea tomorrow. And with that, Humphrey left for Neversheds. The next day was Thomas's day off, which gave Thomas an advantage to wake up very early and get to work with the idea of Scotcon. His first stop was the Steamworks. Buenos dias, Senor Thomas. Have you come here to have yourself polished for the Flying Scotsman's arrival?
Victor, you know a lot about steam engines. Could you share some information about them?
Victor had the workmen turn on the TV, and Thomas watched various videos on the Flying Scotsman and his historic events. He paid close attention with much interest. The next step was to have Victor create replicas of certain number plates and nameplates. Finally, Thomas went around and looked around for some volunteers to attend the Scotcon. Some engines were too busy with their work. But he was lucky enough to get some candidates, like Edward to be assigned to cosplay as Shane, Spencer to cosplay as Dwight D. Eisenhower, and the Earl to cosplay as William McAlpine. And Tidmouth Station will be staged to display a unique moment.
Right there, Logo, and perfect. And Gordon will be next.
As Gordon pulled into Tidmouth Station, he was surprised, but in a negative way.
Whatever is happening on the railway? I see Edward with the number 520 on his buffer beam. Spencer has a nameplate, D.A. Hauer, and now engines are lined up at Tidmouth Station, barricading the platforms.
It's my Scotcon. Since you had limited time trying to think of the perfect gift for Scotsman, I went ahead and covered it for you.
Scotcon? That sounds like...
a rather peculiar but brilliant idea. Nice work, Thomas. Now we better get ready. The Flying Scotsman is due to arrive in roughly 20 minutes.
Thomas beamed from buffer to buffer. He was glad to help out Gordon. Gordon had to admit it was quite loyal for Thomas to do. It was now time for the Flying Scotsman to arrive on Sodor. Engines, rail fans, and crowds were excited to see the big Gresley Green engine pull in.
Cole here, live at Tidmouth Station at Platform 4, where the Flying Scotsman will park himself any minute now. crowns and engines have gathered to welcome the engine of his 100th birthday. And here he comes now! We can hear the excellent overlapping on my own dialogue.
The Flying Scotsman pulled into the platform right in front of Gordon. Behind Scotsman was a Class 220 diesel that assisted the train to make sure it arrived safely.
Greetings from York! Ha ha ha! Oh, hello, brother!
Hello, dear brother.
Welcome back to Sodor, Scott. We're proud to celebrate your birthday centennial here for the week.
Ah, much obliged, sir. I say, an American engine? A diesel? And a turbo-looking engine? This display looks all too familiar from the North American trip. And is that man cosplaying as William McAlpine?
Indeed, Scotsman. I hope you enjoy our trip down to memory lane.
You can thank Thomas for the idea. It's a little something he called Scotcon.
Well then, this is a pleasant surprise. Thomas, I give you my utmost thanks.
It was the least I could do.
And once again, the crowds, rail fans, and engines gave 3 cheers to the Flying Scotsman's centennial birthday. Everyone was happy that the Flying Scotsman was visiting Sodor for his birthday. Well, almost everyone. But that's another story. You can pull me fast, I don't mind the speed. But if you wanna slow your roll, then I've got what you need. Here we go, fast and slow, it's all a give and take. If the speed you pick is too quick, then I just say give me a break. Save the day in a different way, you can't just say give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Rolling down the rails, you're always picking up speed. I got your back to keep on track, that's why I take the lead. Getting there on time isn't just about luck. Don't let your speed become a stampede. You might just save a duck. Look out! Save the day in a different way. You can't just say give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Fast isn't faster if you roll into a lake. Save the day in a different way. You can't just say give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Bad news. So the rape seeds have melted into goop from the rain last night.
Melted into goop. We spent so much money on that. Milk floats and lorries arrive at Barrow-in-Furness to drop off all kinds of containers of milk. There are jugs, cartons, churns, glasses, and bottles, and even sleeves of milk in a variety of flavors and types. They unload their milk from the road vehicles onto the platform, which are then transferred into the rolling stock of a train that enters Sodor and drops the milk off at a few stations where it can be then delivered to stores and homes alike. This is a train the railwaymen call the Morning Milk. Edward was ready at 6:15 in the morning. Men hustled and shouted, loading up the last ounces of milk onto the train. The last store banged, the guard waved his green lantern, and the morning milk was ready for departure.
Come along now,
said Edward to the rolling stock. Clickety-clack, all right, clickety-clack, all right, responded the train. and over the Vickerstown Bridge they went. The morning milk was truly on a roll. Even though Edward had to stop at a few stations, there was still plenty of ground to cover. The whole main line, as a matter of fact. His first stop on the island was Kronk Station. And even then, he still had a long way to go before reaching his first station of his branch line, Wellsworth Station. Then, at 7:25 in the morning, Edward arrives at Knapford Station, until his final destination at Tidmouth Station, where he then arrives at 7:30.
Alright, lads, train's here. Let's start unloading the last bit of this bovine juice.
Edward's usually the main engine who hauls the morning milk train from Barrow-in-Furness to Tidmouth. But as the decades roll by, it's become a hassle for the poor blue old engine. But regardless, he's still satisfied that his deliveries are complete. It is quite surprising to know a couple morning trains that run on the island. The other kind of morning train we all know too well, the Flying Kipper, which is mainly pulled by Henry. It starts at Tidmouth Harbor, then travels along the main line and stops at Kronk, Kelsford Road, Vickerstown, and Barrow-in-Furness. Which from there, another engine takes the Kipper the rest of the way, all the way to Manchester. Though despite Henry enjoying the Kipper so much, he does feel sorry for his crew. You see, as we all know, Henry was relocated to Vickerstown Sheds, meaning that the crew of Henry would have to wake up extra early in order to start Henry up and drive him all the way to the other side of the island to pick up the Kipper. Henry was thinking about resigning from the Kipper when he heard a whistle in the distance. It was Edward. From the looks of his face, he was pretty exhausted from hauling the morning milk. It was at this point when Henry did some pondering. Later that day, after a quick nap at the sheds, Henry was assigned to take a goods train to the North Knapford Harbor when at Wellsworth Crossing, he saw Edward returning to his branch line, looking exhausted.
Oh, hello, Henry.
Oh, good day, Edward. Are you all right? You look a little drowsy.
Well, I don't want to admit it, but that's just me exhausted from the miles traveled with the morning milk. I'm old, Henry. I can't really travel too far along the line like I used to.
Oh my. Say, since I got relocated to Vickerstown, what if I pulled the morning milk for you?
Really? Are you sure, Henry? But what about the Kipper every once in a while?
Oh, I'm not too worried about that. Besides, my crew is starting to get tired of waking up around nearly 4 a.m. just to drive me all the way to Tidmouth Harbor.
Very well then. We, along with the crew, will talk it over with Sir Topham Hatt.
Both engines' crew talked it over with each other and shared their idea with Sir Topham Hatt, who agreed to the idea and decided to give Henry a trial with the morning milk the next time it was in operation.
I'm pleased to announce that we just got our Polish coal ready for Sodor.
Ah, excellent news. Like clockwork, the milk was getting loaded up onto the train. Henry backed down onto it at 6:15 as per usual.
Hello, I'm Henry. And you?
Hello, my name is Logan. If you don't mind me asking, is Edward okay? Normally he takes the morning milk.
Oh, he's alright. He's just considering resigning from the morning milk because of his age. So from now on, I'll be on the morning milk duties. My trial is tonight.
Ah, I see. Well, tell him I said hello when you next see him.
Will do. Have a nice day.
With the guard waving his lantern, Henry left Barrow and Furness and made it back to the island of Sodor. So far, he made some really good time with the morning milk. In fact, it was quite fast. And with plenty of time to spare, the guard and his crew stopped Henry at the crest of Gordon's Hill to check the train's vacuum brakes. Once the train was approved for running again, Henry started off once more. A bit too quickly, for an old coupling snapped off, and a brake pipe snapped too. Henry felt the jerk, and his crew looked back in horror to see that the other half of the train was left behind, rolling towards them and gathering speed down the hill.
Bother. We lost a fraction of the train. We'll have to come back for the vans.
Actually, Henry, the vans are coming to us! Henry!
Say less! I'm locking in!
By Sudbury Junction, he knew Wellsworth Station was dead ahead. He whistled loudly and frantically as his wheels pounded the rails and spun like crazy. Edward and Philip woke up with a start, and in time to see Henry rocketed by the station.
What in heaven's name was that all about?
They found out soon enough when they saw the runaway vans, which thankfully slowed down immensely due to the guard putting the brakes on. With a groaning squeal, they stopped. Once the milk was unloaded, they removed the van with a broken coupling from the morning milk and placed it in a siding. Henry was then given permission to reverse back to the platform, collect the remainder of the train, and continue the rest of the way. It was about a minute late when Henry finally arrived at Tidmouth, so Topham Hatt waited anxiously for him.
Henry, there you are. About a minute late. Is everything all right?
Sorry, sir. We left the crest of Gordon's Hill when a coupling snapped. Then there was an obstruction warning at Wellsworth after the runaway. My sincere apologies about the delay and kerfuffle, sir.
It's all right, Henry. There's a first for everything. I'm just glad you're okay. Besides, there's no use crying over spilled milk.
And everyone had a good chuckle, with Henry included. Henry was luckily given a second chance for the trial with the morning milk. And as for the Flying Kipper, it's mentioned from 1993 that on occasions when Henry is elsewhere or out of commission, substitute engines were given the Flying Kipper. But Henry figured that a truly new apprentice would handle the Kipper during his time with the morning milk. And he believes he found just the candidate, one who's delighted to work with trucks. After giving Rebecca some pointers, she agreed to run a trial with the Flying Kipper.
It's Thomas. You're the leader. Yeah, yeah.
huff and puff. And Emily, she knows her stuff. Henry, Edward, what a pair. Toby, like I say, he's square. Gordon thunders down the line. Everyone's a friend of mine. That's right.
Thomas, he's my number one, shining in the morning sun, working hard but having fun. You're the leader,
The number one Thomas.
you're the leader.
Let's not forget the narrow gauge, where small and strong is all the rage. Sir Handel, Rusty, Mighty Mac, Fearless Freddy at the back. Rheneas, and then Peter Sam, Scaloe, Duncan, he's my man. With Mr. Percival in charge, no work's too hard, no job's too large.
Thomas, he's my number one, shining in the morning sun, working hard but having fun.
Come on, Thomas.
You're the leader.
You are the leader, Thomas.
You're the leader.
It's Thomas.
Jeremy and Harold, Rocky, Harvey too, Salty, Mavis, Bertie, the really useful crew.
It's not just engines full of steam. There's Jack and all his building team. Tipping stones and digging roads, filling trucks and loading loads. Sir Topham Hatt, he keeps an eye on every engine passing by. Everything is tickety-boo, 'cause out in front is you know who. Yeah, yeah, come on.
Thomas, he's my number one, shining in the morning sun, working hard but having fun.
Thomas,
You're the leader.
Thomas,
You're the leader. Thomas, he's my number one, shining
You're the
in
number
the
one.
morning sun, working hard but having fun.
you having fun, Thomas.
You're the leader.
You're the leader, Thomas.
You're the leader. This is Thomas. It's Thomas. It's Thomas. Thomas the leader. It's
The Express is one of the most important passenger runs on the line. It heads from Knapford to Vicarstown. Gordon is the one who usually pulls the Express, but James and Henry are the ones pulling it when he's busy. But lately, the duties have been given to one of the new engines on the island. Bear. He was a strong and kind diesel. Most of the engines enjoyed his presence, but some of them weren't willing to openly greet him, especially James.
Why does such a grimy diesel get to pull the Express? I pulled it more splendidly than anyone else.
One day, Gordon was away for repairs, and Bear took his train. James wouldn't stop grumbling about it.
Whenever our Gordon is away for repairs, he jumps in and takes the job from him. Soon enough, we'll all be out of service for good, and he and his diesel friends will take over the whole railway.
Come on, James. He's a nice and hard-working diesel. I know. I pulled his train along with his awful friend, and he was quite apologetic.
You can make up any story you like, Henry. I'm staying put.
Soon enough, Bear oiled in, with his green plate glistening. He was going to stay with his friends today.
Well, I haven't seen some of my friends in a long time. It will be great to see them again.
Going to boast to your friends how you infested a perfectly peaceful railway? Go swank about all you like with the Express, but we're the ones who belong it.
The other engines were shocked and stared angrily at James.
I mean, come on, read a book, Bear. They adopted Edward breaking his side rod, and he still made it on time. You would moan for your fitter if you broke down.
Well, I was going to tell him how fine engines you are. But perhaps I'll mention a story of an engine with some tar tankers as well.
The others laughed as James's face turned red. He sulked to the chosen drugs, but they just laughed even more.
Not our fault you can't read a sign.
Bear made good time, stopping at all the big stations, but a few times nearly missed the platform. His driver explained that all new engines have problems on their first days, and it cheered him up again. But unfortunately, Bear couldn't sleep at the mainland tonight, since there were too many complications, so he had to sleep at Knapford.
Hello there. Haven't seen you on this island. What's your name?
My name is Bear. Yours?
Rebecca. What brings you here?
Oh, I was just recently a diesel on trial, but now I'm part of the Northwestern Railway. I usually take passengers from Vickerstown to Barrow and Furnace, but I ended up here today.
Oh, that's nice. I'm a good engine that goes from Knapford Harbor to Crowlan's Gate. There's some cute little engines over there. Have you seen them?
Ah, no. But I hope to see them soon.
You seem pretty upset. Everything okay?
I guess. There's an engine that sometimes comes to Vickerstown as well. His name is James. He usually says mean things to me just because I'm a diesel. I usually brush it off, but now I can't stop thinking about it.
Just one? Oh, please. I dealt with quite lots of mean machines when I came along as well. But when another diesel named Diesel came to aid me, I felt better than ever before, 'cause to quote Diesel, the good outweighs the bad here.
Really? Well, that is true. Henry did haul me and the other Diesel all by himself, and lots of engines do like me. You're right, Rebecca.
I usually am.
Tomorrow, I'll have to tell Sir Topham Hatt about James. That'll shunt him into place.
Good idea, but a snooze is needed first. Night, Bear.
Night, Rebecca. Henry told me Sir Topham Hatt will be here for today. This is a good chance to tell him.
Bear didn't know his brakes hadn't been checked this morning. He was too busy on getting ready to go to Vickerstown. Soon trouble came.
Hold it. My brakes don't have valves today. Help! I can't stop. Hat!
But it was too late. Bear crashed through Vickerstown into the island. And on top of Bear was a book that had opened to a page with Gordon. Bear was immediately sent to the works, and Vickerstown Station had to be closed until it was fixed. Sir Topham Hatt was furious, but was too busy on preparing for a trip to London.
Well, well, Bear, it seems you finally had an accident. Any feelings about it?
Not good ones.
Ah, well, at least it's even now. You're probably more suited for the Express anyways.
Really? I didn't expect this from you, James.
I usually boast around just to make myself happy, but I think you are a better choice for pulling the coaches. You're patient and careful. Well, not all the time.
and the two left, concluding James's adversary with diesels.
Now it's a very special day. It's getting better and better. Now everybody say hey. It's gonna be a great day. It's getting better and better. Now everybody say hey. It's gonna be a great day. It's everybody say hey. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a great day. It's getting better and better. Now everybody say hey.
Oh, here comes Gordon.
You silly missile on wheels. You ruined my video.
Hey, I like that missile on wheels. Besides, I'm sure they didn't mean to. Incidents happen like this all the time on the mainland.
The 80th anniversary was right around the corner, and some big plans were being cooked up by Sir Topham Hatt.
Alright everyone, settle down. Okay now, I know that while a large amount of you are all excited for the 80th anniversary, there are others, me included, who are having some concerns of things going wrong.
Bubbling boilers. I haven't felt this way since '95.
I don't blame you. There's gonna be a lot of pressure this year. Remember Canadian Pacific 2816's trip in Mexico? Crazy how despite in the modern era, we have people that still break the rules, specifically those standing too close to the tracks.
Approximately 10 feet away to be precise. You know, why don't we send an engine out to ensure the line is clear, like what Edward did back in 53 and 2022?
No, that is a brilliant idea, Gordon. Okay, so I'm thinking James should cover the main line
While Sir Topham had explained the procedure of how the anniversary would be celebrated, Humphrey noticed that 3 of his friends were feeling gloomy in a goods shed, so he decided to do a welfare check on them. Kana, Bruno, Sandy, what's troubling you 3?
Well, it seems like everyone will be looking forward to seeing you all. Everyone but us. We weren't the most popular for the past 4 years thanks to those bullies who looked down on us for the reboot. Sometimes I feel like our arrivals were a mistake.
And with the reboot ending this year, those bullies will only get more happy. I'm worried that we'll eventually be forgotten. Oh.
We're doing one of these again. Look, girls, and guy, I know that there are people out there who weren't fond of your debut, let alone the whole reboot of Thomas. But that's just one of the features of society. There's always that one group who sees the bad side of things and shove it down our tracheas time and time again. So what? Big whoop. They're just one-trick ponies who got nothing better to do. It doesn't matter what they think. Everything changes once in a while. The look of the show, the look of the illustrations of the books. Heck, even over the years, our whole railway has gone through changes. But the one thing that will never change is the core values. The core values that Steam will always be working on this island. The core values that this railway will remain in operation no matter who arrives to work. The core values of welcoming engines who have the desire and passion of working on Sodor. And those core values, no one will ever take from us. I've seen you all do great things for the railway, maintaining the tracks, keeping trains orderly, and managing the passenger runs on the Peel Godfred branch line so well. Besides, a while back, Edward once told me that the island isn't just some place for filming. This is a railway. A railway that turns 110 this year, the year of Railway 200. While some of our friends will cease the day, we can cease the year. Stay by our side, and I promise you, we will make this year the best year of our lives. Nothing will interfere with us when we stand together. Together as one!
United we stand.
Together we fall.
Alright everyone, let's unload the morning milk. And while we're at it, let's say our goodbyes to Edward. This morning, he's resigning from the morning milk. Thank you for having us, Edward.
Thanks, lads. It was pretty fun while it lasted.
Edward, hurry up! I got our coaches ready. We're waiting at the platform.
Coming, Thomas. I gotta go now. But thank you. Now we've got a railway to run.
Dylan Cole here, live at Timoth Station by Platform 6 next to mainline train hauled by the Northwestern Railways numbers 3 and 4, Henry and Gordon. Today is a spectacular day, as May 12, 2025 marks the 80th anniversary since the Reverend Wilbur Audrey wrote the books about Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, and the rest of their friends back in 1945. To celebrate this momentous occasion, there will be 2 trains running across the island of Sodor. As mentioned earlier, Henry and Gordon will cover all locations on the main line, while at the same time, Northwestern Railways numbers 1 and 2, Thomas and Edward, will cover all the branch lines of the island. And there goes our rail speeder Sandy, and the Northwestern Railways number 5 James, ensuring the lines are free of those who treacherously approach too close to the tracks. Now, I'm about to hop on board the mainline service and keep you updated with the train's runs. For now, all aboard!
Down the main line, Sandy was on her way to the Kirk Ronan harbor to make sure no one was standing too close to the tracks, when something ahead of her caught her eye on the other side of Balladrain Bridge. It looked like the tracks were sagging. Upon closer inspection, the tracks were sagging. The river below was eroding some of the bank away. Sandy knew that sagging rails could make an engine derail. So she darted back to the last signal box she passed, informed the signalman, who informed the signalman at Knapford, who requested Rebecca should pick up some workmen and tools. Bruno was sitting in the Knapford shunting yards when Rebecca hitched up to him with the unit's coach.
Bruno, there you are. Rebecca, what happened?
The track on Balladrain Bridge is in need of repairs. I've got the workmen, and you've got some tools.
As soon as Rebecca arrived, the workmen got straight to work. Thankfully, the line parallel to the bridge was safe to cross, so Thomas and Edward cautiously crossed over.
Thanks, Rebecca and Bruno.
Thanks, Rebecca and Bruno.
I hope all the engines are aware of the bridge is under maintenance.
All engines? Wait, Henry and Gordon. They are on. They're way back from Vickerstown. They won't know that the track's under maintenance.
That's it! Kana! She's fast. She'll reach Henry and Gordon and warn them about the bridge.
But she whizzed right by us.
Not if she sees my flares. Quick! Someone look for the flare gun and fire a couple rounds.
I've got it.
The workmen blasted a couple rounds of flares into the air. To their luck, Kana noticed the flares skyrocketing.
Those look like flares. Something must be wrong. Bruno, I saw your flares. What happened?
It's Henry and Gordon. They don't know that the rails on Balladrain Bridge is in repair. They need to slow down.
Say no more.
And Kana darted over the bridge and dashed along the main line.
Sounds like Connor's horn.
I believe it is Connor. On our line! Gordon, stop!
Henry? Gordon?
What happened?
What's
Why'd we
happening
stop?
up there?
Why don't you ask Connor?
Whatever are you playing at?
Sorry guys, but I had to warn you. The track at Balladrain Bridge is under maintenance. I came to tell you to puff carefully.
Heavens above. Wow. You really saved our coaches and passengers.
Let's hit it for Kana! Hooray!
Well, that warning could have been better, but thanks.
And Gordon and Henry cautiously crossed over Balladrain Bridge and thanked Rebecca and Bruno for maintaining the tracks. Once the tracks were replaced, Nia escorted the old rails to the Kronk scrapyard and the Sodor Zoo. At the end of the day, Thomas, Edward, Henry, and Gordon arrived back at Tidmouth Station. The crowds cheered for the engines. Suddenly, the cheers intensified when a couple more engines arrived at Tidmouth Station. It was Kana, Sandy, and Bruno being praised for their actions at Buildering Bridge.
Wow, a lot of people really like us. It's pretty loud, though.
Wow! Listen to that crowd! Earlier today, we cautiously crossed over the Balladrine Bridge that was under repairs due to sagging rails near the river. Now we were extremely lucky that the train didn't derail had it not been our underdogs, Sandy, British Rails Class 800, Kana, and Caboose Bruno. Oh, looks like our special guest has excited the coach and is going to announce something. Wait, who's this? Who is this? What? Why, slap my shoulder blades and call me ripped! It's the grandson of Wilbur Audrey!
And there at the center of attention was none other than Richard Audrey.
Citizens of Sodor, I'm vastly honoured to join the Sundrian celebration of milestone of my grandfather's stories. This was definitely our most remarkable, unforgettable, stupendous one yet. What happened near Balladrine Bridge was made up for by the trio of unlikely heroes without capes. What are your names?
The name's Kana.
Sandy. Sandy's a rail speeder.
I'm Bruno.
Well, Kana, Sandy, and Bruno, today you've proven to me, your controller, and everyone else that you're reliable, and your actions are credit to your railway.
Absolutely true, Mr. Audrey. You've done your part and been considerate for my engine's safety. Like good families should, you all look out for each other. I couldn't be more happier to have you on my railway. Here's to the 80th anniversary!
And for the first time in their lives, Kana, Sandy, and Bruno truly felt like they found their place. Even though that there are some haters out there who still weren't fond of them, they will never forget that as long as somebody loves you, you will always find a place to call home. And they couldn't think of any better place to thrive on than the island of Sodor.
Picture a land where the sky is so blue, storybook land of wonder, magical island just waiting for you. Island of Sodor will make your dreams come true. Imagine a place where the sun always smiles, the valleys are green as can be. Friends that you love are all waiting for you. Island of Sodor will make your dreams come true. Children, follow the dream to a land of make-believe. The skies with stars in their eyes. Island of Sodor, make your dreams come true. Children, follow the dream
It had been many months since the explosion at Elsbridge occurred, and the engines found it hard to get used to the new environment. The less engines meant more work, and the radioactive remains made the temperature much hotter than the average spring. But beneath that, Sodorless was coming in a few weeks, and the engines held their breath for that to be the redeeming day of all the tragedy. One day, Sir Topham Hatt gathered some of the engines to Dapford. He had a big announcement.
But hopefully it's something good. These last few meetings always seem to take a toll on Topham. Just look at him.
Let me see, is that the paper or is this? Where is it? Oh, this is impossible. Good morning, everyone. I've sent you all here to give you an announcement. As we all know, we've lost 5 of our engines and 1 of our breakdowns in the horrible attack on Elsbridge. I know it's been a big workload for everyone to take their places, and I've been a part of it too. To accommodate for their absences, I've made some major changes to the railway. Firstly, once Douglas gets his new paint job finished, Donald will be sent over to Knapford Yards to help with all the shunting and organising needed. Emily, you will be the secondary express engine for when we need you in the summer when demand is higher. However, for now you will continue to work on your normal line. James, you will be held off from passenger duties for a while and be one of the 2 engines to deliver steel from the mainland to Sodor.
Oh, alright. But with who?
That you will find out soon. I've also brought some engines from the mainland and beyond. These should take the missing ones' places quite easily, but also give the opportunity for new jobs. The first one is...
Invisibility off! Hello, everyone.
Merlin, it's so good to see you again.
Ah, James, I'm just glad you are. I'll be helping to do some of the passenger and goods work that Thomas and Percy left behind. I'll be here as long as you need.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Merlin. Our next big helper is already on Sodor but is being relocated for the time being. Welcome, Timothy.
Hello again, everyone. I'm so glad to be getting a break from the clay pits for a while. I can't wait to start doing some other work for a change.
Do you think the twins will manage without you?
They'll be fine.
That's not Norman's load. His is over here. No, it's clearly over there. Here, there, there.
Wonderful. And now, our next arrival isn't here to help out with any actual jobs, but has arrived to help me get around the island in an emergency. Say hello to Winston.
Good morning, all.
Hello there. Aren't you a little too small to be on the rails?
I'll have you know my size doesn't matter at all. As long as I know my way, I'll be just fine. Besides, a whale like you could break those tracks.
What? That's right. I was told that Winston here is very great at what seems to be called geo-guessing, meaning he is very quick to learning locations and their surroundings. So he will be a great help to get me around when I need him. Sure he can't guess the way to the smelters. Wonderful. We've already introduced 3, and finally, our last engine is... Oh, alright. I've just been informed that he's running late. I'm sure he'll be here in time for the party at Kildane. Please be sure to greet him there. That's it for the announcement, so everyone can go to their jobs now. The annual Sodor Day party is coming soon.
It's really nice to have you back for a while, Merlin. I would have chosen you out of anyone else I met at the mainland.
It's great to be back as well, James. Sodor's air just feels so much different than the grimy industries that are on the mainland. Though admittedly, it does feel missing without Thomas. I heard what happened. It was all over the media. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's been really hard trying to balance all the missing work, and I miss those 6 a lot. But hopefully we'll be able to find them and get them back. It's a huge loss.
Indeed. But for now, we should try to lighten the mood. And it's even better that I get to celebrate with the engines of Sodor this year.
It's... never mind.
Hello? Anyone there? I've got some empty trucks that need loading.
Oh, right here. Can you come over?
Oh, hello. You must be the one running this quarry, right?
That's right. I'm Mavis. Pleased to meet you. You must be the one taking Toby and Percy's place today. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Timothy. The pleasure is mine. I come from the clay pits up on Edward's branch line. It's odd how quiet it is here.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, the clay pits have more engines working on it. I have Marion, the steam shovel, and Bill and Ben. Those 3 make it a lot more busy and comfortable.
Oh, you're that engine who went in to their new job. I used to work with Bill and Ben. They worked up here for many years, but the clay pits opened up and they got moved. They said that there were new engines up there and promised to come back and tell me all about him. But, alas, they must have forgotten.
Those 2 do a lot wrong, but they mean well at heart.
Yeah, one of them got angry at the other, getting new buffers to where they crashed into a ditch.
That's it. They'd be stranded if it weren't for me. They were silly enough one day not to bring their own coal, and couldn't move until the train of them came.
Wow, they haven't changed at all, have they?
Nope, not at all. You want to come to the sheds with me tonight? It'd be great to know more of you, and it's probably better than being alone.
Alright, sure, but let's get these trucks loaded first.
Hello, Timothy. Brought someone home?
Yeah, I've been talking with Mavis for a while, and thought it'd be nice to give her some company tonight.
Huh! There's more small engines than big engines in this shed. It's disgraceful.
No, just stop. It's not disgusting or despicable either, because Henry's off taking the kipper tonight.
Just keep your mouth shut, Gordon. It'll save you from the insults.
Oh, it's been a long while since a lot of us have seen each other.
Of course, but it's interesting to think about now. The sheds that used to have engines 1 through 7 and 12 now only have 2, 4, and 5, but missing 1, 3, 6, 7, 12. Wait, who are the engines after 12?
Well, there's no 13. Charlie is 14, Samson is 15, and 16 is...
Oh, don't get me started on 16. He was the worst.
Wait, who's 16? Like, is that his name, or...?
Yes, his name starts with 16, but he really never revealed himself, but he was horrid. About a year after Thomas and James got me, Lexi and Theo at the Steelworks, The mainland sent us in another engine on trial. He apparently came from an older steelworks that was shut down from unethical activities. We came in with open arms, but he just ignored us. He never even wanted to speak to us. We lived with it for a while, until one fateful day, where he was unloading slag. He fell off the loading ramp into the ground near the molten slag. He was alive, but badly damaged. He was sent away to be repaired, but when he was finished being repaired, he took off instantly without warning, and now nobody has ever heard of him since. He wasn't really Sodorless 16, but he was definitely our 16.
Yikes. Seems like you five had it pretty bad after Thomas and James left.
Everything started working out after that, but we never got any other engines after that. We're never overloaded on work, but a new friend would be nice. If only he is grateful for what he had.
It's probably too late now. Might have crashed in a ditch and was never found.
Ah, well, maybe a miracle happened for him. But anyways, anyone else got anything to tell? With?
Ah, no, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I wonder how the new track inspection coster Topham Hackgott is doing. Haven't heard of anything from him since his arrival.
Huh, wherever he is probably in a state of being more squished than before.
Gordon!
Sorry, Edward.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, if nobody has anything else to tell, we should probably call it a day. Good night, everyone.
And I think that's the last of it. I think. Oh, I'm not sure, but it's been so much to deal with the past 2 months. You understand, right?
Over? Is it over? Thank the Lord.
Oh, sorry, Winston. I didn't realize I was talking too much. Can I do anything to make it up? Excuse me.
Sir, I understand you've been having a rough few months lately, but buying a track inspection car was not the solution. You're not well, sir, and there is fixing you, but you haven't been talking to the right person to help you. If anything, you only look worse from telling me everything.
Oh, you're right. I haven't been taking this in the right approach. I'm just so lost on how to fix myself that I went and did these stupid things to think it'll help. But in the end, it's not slowing me from drifting away from my sanity at all.
See, we might be having a breakthrough here. Now listen to me. It's obviously okay to tell me things that frustrate you. Everyone does that. But if the problem has been so drastic to this point, you need to see others that will actually help you with it. Then you won't have so much to complain about.
Wow, I haven't really thought of it like that. Thank you, Winston. That alone helped me a bit.
I'm glad to hear it, sir. Now, where to? We are literally holding up a line.
I know. Good afternoon to the four of you.
Morning, sir.
Oh, happy Sodor Day, everyone!
Thank you, Mavis. I have a special opportunity for the four of you. For all your hard work, you can pull the Sodor Day party train and cargoed food for the guests. This is a very special train that needs to be taken to Kildane by tonight.
Oh, sir.
It would be an honor.
Why is this needed to Kildane?
Wonderful. I'll see you at the party then. The vans are at the harbour being loaded, and the party goers will be at Knapford.
Sounds good.
Splendid.
So, how's everything been going, sir?
Well, it's been smooth progress, actually, but therapy does take a while. Going well, though.
That's great to hear.
They're over there. Let's go. Now, obviously, I should be at the front. The special train needs a special leader.
Absolutely not! Merlin, Timothy, would you like to take the front?
What? But they don't know the line that much. How can we trust them?
Oh, it's fine. We'll lead the way by telling them.
Fine.
Why, thank you, Mavis. That would be great.
Alright, you three, give it you all here.
My, this hill is a lot harder to climb with a train.
You said it. I can see the hill from the clay pits, and never did I imagine it would be this difficult.
Ha! I knew small engines couldn't do the job! Toodaloo!
Why has he been such a jerk recently?
He's been so over his head on what Winston said to him, he thinks he's better than everyone else now.
I'll see. Maybe we could do something to stop that behavior. Whatever he's doing is so inhumane.
Stop!
Oh my god! Merlin! Timothy!
Where are we?
I don't know. We might be lost.
Oh, this is terrible. It's Sodo Day, and we'll end up just like 16, lost and forgotten. Huh? Is that?
Do we trust them?
Well, it sounds like we know where to go.
I don't believe it!
16?
Yes. It's me.
But you were lost, and how did you end up on Sodor?
Well, I'll tell you. When I was fixed, I was told by my driver that after this, I would have to be sent to the Yorkshire Railway Museum. You see, it took a long time to fix me. A few years, and at first they didn't want to fix me, so they left me to rust for a little bit. But then, my owners were told by the Yorkshire Railway Museum manager that in those years they left me to rust. All of my glass was scrapped for inefficiency, other than an engine named Wilbur, but he was owned by Sodor, and they were desperate to get the other last one left in a museum, as long as I was restored. So that's what they did. They restored me. And it took a while. I knew my fate would be to stare at people taking pictures of me. And then I realized how valuable life was. And that I took mine for granted. And that I would spend my retirement years in a museum. I didn't want that to happen, so once I was finished, when the time was right, I sneakily escaped the works and just kept puffing, looking for a second chance. Passing by the mainland, I went where the track took me. And it ended me up on Sodor. And I went unnoticed, and now I'm not sure. I must have taken a whole turn by accident since I didn't know my way. But I eventually ran out of coal right here. Just stayed, hoping someone on Sodor would find me and take me to the top of Matt's railway. That never happened. It wasn't the best plan, but it was a better chance than ending up in a museum.
Oh my, that's terrible!
But in some weird way, it seems like you learned your lesson, 16. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I feel like this whole experience gave you a better meaning of being a really useful engine. I think you've really changed, and honestly, I don't have the heart to leave you here. So we will take you to the Sodor Day party at... what station?
Kildane.
Why does everyone want to kill... Oh, sorry. Anyways. So what do you say, 16? Ready for another chance?
Yes I am. Let's go. I remember the route I took. It's Kildane. I think all you have to do is follow the main line and we'll arrive.
Splendid! Let's go!
They went rolling down the hill and disappeared.
Oh, this is a disaster. And just when this day started to go...
Is that?
It's them. They've arrived! Hooray! Oh, we were so worried for you. 3? Who is this one?
This, sir, is 16. I know him from the mainland. He escaped a few years ago, and it's a lot to catch up on. But he's an engine who changed from his recent experiences. I think we should let him celebrate with us this Sodor Day. We can explain more later, but can't we just have him now in the moment?
Well, it's a lot to catch up on, but it's our day, and I can't put myself to shove someone away from this wonderful party. The more the merrier. Welcome aboard, 16.
Thank you, Sir Topham Hatt.
Now come on everyone, let's celebrate!
Hold up, everyone quiet down. As you know, this is one of our more different Sodor Day celebrations this year. We sadly do not have everyone here today, and it's been tough to grieve over these losses, but we shouldn't be down about it today, because Sodor Day is a time for rejoicing and being with the ones you can be in this island, founded so long ago. So before we truly celebrate, I'd like to read out a speech, which coincidentally rhymes a bit, I made during the past few days. I know it may be hard to listen to, or laughable to some, but I think it summarizes my thoughts and progress through this time. With Elsbridge Station, now but dust and stone, Thomas, Percy, Bruno, Toby, Lady, and Duck, all gone. The blast that shook our island home left questions hanging, answers unknown. My dear engines, gathered here tonight, at Kildane's party, bathed in Sodor light, remember this. Through thick and thin, we'll face whatever comes. And we will win, for Sodor's spirit cannot be broken down. Our bonds are strong, though much is shaken. We'll rebuild, we'll search, we'll carry on, until our family is once more as one. So raise your voices, let the whistles blow. In the face of darkness we shall glow, for even in this time of fear, we stand united, year after year. After that's over, we can finally celebrate together. Happy Sodor Day, Sodor!